Hello, my band of lovely weirdos. I'm coming back. I'm trying really hard not to be that like, oh, I'm back or I'm not back or whatever I'm doing, and just only putting out content when I feel like it feels right. And today it feels right. So welcome to my new friends, my old friends, my lovers, my complete internet strangers. How are ya? We're gonna do a get ready with me today. And I'm gonna do a little bit of an update on what's been going on with me, what's been going on with the internet, and a few new products I'm gonna try. So if you're interested in that, feel free to sit down, have a chat. If you're not interested in that, sit down, shut up, and watch it anyway, okay? So first thing I want to chat about is I cut my hair off and I've pulled a whole bunch of the black out of it. So I'm slowly trying to just kind of, you know, embrace my natural color. My natural color is from about here down, and we're pulling out the black slowly so I can just dye it all gray. So we're gonna get rid of my hair and get it out of the way now that that's been addressed. It's been quite the aggressive change. I find I cut my hair off like once probably every 4 years. I do like a really aggressive chop and just chop it all off because it pisses me off, and that's the only way I know how to deal with it. So I want to start off with a moisturizer. So I'm just going to use, actually not even a moisturizer, just like a facial spray, because I put moisturizer on before today. So I'm just going to spray on some Mario Badescu facial spray, which is the aloe, herbs, and rosewater one. This is old. I actually bought this a million months ago when I was in New York. I did just get back from New York and from NYC, Ipsy Live, whatever they want to call it. One thing that hasn't changed, I'm clearly still very red-faced. Oh well. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry down, and I'm going to toss on some eye primer. So I did just, as I said, get back from New York. I love it there. It is definitely my most favorite place in the whole world, like legitimately in the whole entire world. So it's always a good time going there. I did go there to do the Creator Day for Ipsy Live, which was lovely. It was a different experience. I've been to a few of the Gen Beauties. I've been to New York. I've been to New York twice, I want to say. And I've been to Toronto twice. And no, I guess now I've been to New York 3 times and Toronto twice. And they have invited me all 3 times. This was the first time I actually made it in time for the Creator Day in New York. I like to say that if I'm going to New York and my flight's not delayed considerably, I'm not really going to New York. So that was the eye primer is on. I have all of these palettes that I got while I was away. So we have a Colourpop Rendezvous palette, an IBY Ocean Awakening palette. How many times can I say palette? The Pure Be Your Selfie Makeup Revolution. This is like chilled with cannabis sativa. A Morphe palette, a Juvia's Place Warrior 2 palette, the Balm Day to Night. Like, there was just so much stuff there. It was crazy. Now I have to decide what I actually want to use. I have a basket of stuff I have to play with still. So I need to do all of these things. I think I'm going to use... I don't even know where I want to go with this at this point. See, this is why I haven't been putting out content lately, because I'm lost. I'm lost as a human. So I think because it's not that common and I think they deserve a little bit of like recognition or chill, I'm going to use the IBY Ocean Awakening. This was in the creator bag. I have another palette by IBY Beauty and I find it not to be as good as this one. I used this one on the last day while I was there, and I used some of the browns and the greens up through here. I have a feeling that throughout this video I'm going to be all over the place and super scattered, so I hope you enjoy that about me. I was going to actually get drunk while doing this and drink a bottle of wine, not a glass, whole bottle, whole thing. And I chose not to because I thought I better not drink and drive when I need to go to Walmart later and pick up some groceries. So, does everybody like my gargoyle man there? My dog is very afraid of him. Diesel is super, super afraid of inanimate objects he doesn't understand. So because we are going to fall, and not even going into fall, we are heavily in fall now, I'm going to use this shade here called Suntan and just really start to wing it because truthfully I haven't even been that interested in makeup lately. I'm going to get this dog hair off my eye first though. So yeah, The overall trip to New York was great. I ended up booking at a hotel called Pod 39, which was a beautiful little pod type hotel, which was great. I booked a mini bunk. Joke's on me. Didn't actually know what that meant at the time. But it was probably the smallest room I've ever been in my entire life. So myself and another creator named Kirsten stayed together as we normally do from Nobleland Makeup. I will put her channel down below. I've talked about her many a time. We actually met on the internet and have met in New York a couple of times, and she has flown here and stayed with me a few times. We met tons of creators, but like this hotel was the funniest thing I think I've ever experienced in my whole life. Also, my eyes water considerably more now than they ever did before. So no, I'm not emotional. It just happens. Why do I live with dog hair on my face all the time? So in comparison to a standard hotel room, this had like a desk, a little like desk with a rack closet on it, a washroom that only had a shower, a toilet, and a small sink, and 2 bunk beds. And you're like, you know what? That doesn't seem that bad because really I'm not going to be in the room, right? Wrong. You are in the room a little bit, especially if you're me and you don't travel that well. Like you get tired easily and you get annoyed with crowds and just basically the goings on of traveling as a human. So I opened the door because I got there first. Kirsten's flight was delayed longer than mine, so I get there first. Let me tell you, I have never been so startled by how small a room was in my entire life. The entire room with all that in it was actually smaller than my office at home, than the room I'm sitting in now, which is like a 4th bedroom and a standard size home. So I found that very funny. I immediately sent Kirsten a text message being like, I'm so sorry about this room. I did not expect this. But you know what? It actually kind of added to the experience. Anytime something happened or we knocked something off of a shelf, which was frequent, or she knocked something off her bunk onto the top of my head, which was also frequent, became quite the laughing ridiculousness. So although not ideal, pretty funny all in all. So I guess I should probably tell you what I'm doing. So I've got into this yellow shade at the top here called Vitamin C. My main complaint with IBY shadows is that when you use them and you put your brush in, the kick up is pretty considerable. So I'm just gonna bend this back. So if you put your brush in, you get lots of pigment, which is great. But I've only used this a few times and you can see where I've used it pretty considerably for where we're at for usage, I think. So yeah, I'm gonna just continue to blend this through a little bit more. I wish I had taken pictures of this tiny ass hotel room. It was the funniest shit in the world. She literally dropped multiple things on my head and I probably knocked over 100 things or like banged my head 100 times. Like it just became funny. And not to mention the bathroom door to the actual like toilet and to the shower was just glass that didn't close all the way. So like there's no secrets here. And the entire middle of it, it's just open glass. Like it's not even frosted all the way. Only through the middle is it frosted, but if you were on the top bunk, you could see into the washroom, so it didn't matter if it was frosted or not. So again, wasn't ideal, but also kind of added to the experience. Really loved the overall hilarity that ensued. I'm going into the shade at the top corner here called Salty, and I'm just highlighting my brow bone in not the typical way that I would. I've been really liking kind of doing the whole thing, so I kind of bring it across my entire brow from here all the way over. Oh, also I was supposed to dedicate this comeback video to Sam Dorovich, who is a friend of mine from work. I told you I would do it and I did it, and here it is. Here it is. To those of you who did reach out to me asking me if I was okay and what I've been doing, I'm okay. I appreciate you reaching out, and honestly, not a day goes by where I don't think about my channel and I don't think about you guys when I don't get on it as much as I want to. I'm going in with the shade Catch Rays, which is this really this is like a good dupe for some of the melt shades. There's in the, what is it called? In Gemini and the Weed palette, which I can't remember for the life of me at the moment what it's called. There are 2 very similar shades to this in there that I very much like a lot. So yeah, we ended up going to Creator Day together. The bags were massive. Like, we didn't even know what to do with ourselves when we were on the way home because there was so much stuff to bring home. We were both overweight in... I ended up having to leave a few things at the security gate so I didn't have to pay like hundreds of dollars American to bring them home, because who wants to do that? And overall the trip was really great. I know that some people didn't have the best experiences at the creator night. There was something that was going on with like bags and like the creator bags that where they didn't get them, or they checked in too late, or they didn't show up on time, or whatever else had gone on. I wasn't super involved in that. I was on time. I didn't have any issues. Overall, I do wish that the Creator Day had been better organized. I felt like we missed out on a lot of really great panel speakers because they had told us to go downstairs. So we listened to one panel, then they told us to go downstairs and basically said that they were going to run the panels, like you'd go down and then go back up and go down and go back up. But we never were allowed to go back up. We were basically forced downstairs to make our own Ipsy bag, which cool, happy to do it. And then we were trapped down there. We weren't allowed back upstairs, and we weren't allowed to go into the actual event, and they ended up shutting down the Ipsy bag creation because it was too busy. So everybody was just kind of standing there like dummies and not really knowing what to do. But truthfully, I try not to get mad about stuff like that. The event is there so that like we can network and we can do stuff that we wouldn't necessarily get the opportunity to do, and I was invited, so I'm not going to sit there and complain. Truthfully, could it have been better organized? Absolutely, but like nobody's perfect. Okay, so that shade was just Daybreak that I put in the corner of my lid there, and I do want a deeper brown than what they provide me in here, so I'm going to actually dip into a different palette now. And by dip, I mean just open and go into it. I'm not gonna like dip in and just no, that sounds stupid. I don't know, and I don't like it. So I'm going to go into the Warrior 2 by Juvia's Place. I picked this up from Ulta on one of the days we did some shopping, and I swear to God, every time I go to Ulta, I like black out and buy too much stuff. And this time I only bought $60 worth of stuff, which is very unlike me, and I couldn't even believe it. And this was one of the things, and if you know me, I'm not that into neutrals. So I looked at it and I was like, man, this is going to be like the Kat Von D Shade and Light, and I'm going to buy it and never ever use it. And you know what? I've used it every damn day since I bought it. It seems to be the go-to palette. If I can't find something to define or to clean up a look, that is the palette I go to, and it gives me what I need. Probably not using a good brush for this, no I'm not. Need something a little bit more dense, like my head. So yeah, so far so good with this palette. I am really liking it. No complaints, and it's really being able to be a really good go-to finishing palette. Like, it's my Mortal Kombat move. Please tell me in the comments that you get that reference. Finish him. Because if you don't, I'll be sad and then I'll just feel stupid. One of the other things that came in the glam bag were these Glamcore mirrors, which honestly, the creator bag was awesome this year. It was amazing. It's definitely the best one yet. I have never felt so lucky to be involved in an event as I was receiving that bag. It was honestly like 80 pounds. I didn't even know what to do with myself. When I got it, I thought my arms were gonna break. So, outside of New York, my departure from YouTube over the last couple of months has been multi-impactful. Impacted by multiple things. So first we decided we were gonna look at buying a boat, so we ended up buying a boat. So the first couple weekends that I missed filming was because we were looking for a boat, and then we ended up getting it, and it all happened very fast, and every weekend we were up there and I completely lost my filming time. If you're not new here, you've been around for a while, you know my boss left at work and went to another position in May. So very happy for him. Definitely supported the move. It definitely needed to happen and he deserved it. He got promoted. Super happy for him. But ultimately that meant that I was left on my own devices. I didn't need him, but it's always helpful to have people kind of backing you up and have people you can lean on. And we were not really assigned a new active leader for some time. So work was also very busy and very challenging and very draining for most of the year. I think we're coming out of it now. Oh God, my skin is so red. Don't you just love that palette? I just love that palette. I love both of them. I love when you like get something and it's a little shocking. I am gonna just add a little bit more of the suntan and the vitamin C, because I've got a little bit of skipping in the blend here. But yeah, I really don't like coming on YouTube and like bitching about work and complaining that I am tired, or just in general, I don't like complaining about work because I don't really think it's fair. And I know lots of people are unemployed, and I know that lots of people have a lot of worse things going on, and who the hell wants to listen to somebody come on here and complain? So basically, I just don't. I don't do it, and that's why you don't really hear much from me when I don't feel up to putting out content. Because if it's not good content and it's not something you want to listen to, then you're not going to stay, or you're going to click off, right? So those are those reasons. But super happy about the boat in general. Let's talk about the happier thing. Apparently I felt that I needed to celebrate the purchase of the Corvette, which was 1 year ago, with the purchase of a boat. Almost to the day. It's almost like I have a pattern. I'll insert pictures of the boat here. I grew up on the water, and it was a huge part of my life for a very long time. So I always thought I would have a boat when I grew up, and then I didn't, and it was something that always bothered me. So my husband and I started talking about it, and here we are. Okay, so the primer I just put on is the Purlisse Matcha Green Tea Antioxidant Priming Moisturizer. It's a lightweight, oil-free water cream, primes skin for makeup. I think this is probably more of a moisturizer than anything. It does say primer all over it. One of the panelists was actually the owner of Purlisse, so I thought that was pretty cool to get to be able to see her and hear her talk about her successes and her failures in her business. Nobody ever talks about the shit they fuck up. They only talk about what went right and why it went right. And I don't actually think that's a good way to learn. I think you learn more from your mistakes than your successes. Okay, just because I am a little bit warm right now, my pores are a little bit red, I'm going to use the Poreless Putty primer that I got from Target while I was there, and just kind of put it into where my pores are a little bit more aggressive. And of course my battery is going to die. Wouldn't be one of my videos without running out of space on my memory card or my battery dying. I'll be right back. All right, so moving on, I did just put, again, a little bit of the e.l.f. Putty primer in my more aggressive pore places. It does say that this is supposed to be a dupe for the Tatcha Silk Canvas. I don't know if I see it. It's a similar style, but I don't know if it's the same. I haven't had enough chance to try it out. I've wore it 2 or 3 times, and there is, okay, so there's more to this story. So I bought the Juvia's Place I Am Magic foundation, and I really like the coverage. The coverage is incredible, especially for my red skin. It's awesome. I bought the shade Giza, and hopefully I'm not pronouncing it incorrectly, but in natural light it makes me look really, really orange. So I don't know if it's the primer that's doing that, or if it's the powder I was using or what, but in regular light it looks totally normal. It looks like a perfect match, but the second I step into sunlight, it's like I could be Trump. I could be, with better hair. So I am going to actually not use this one because I don't know. I want to see if this foundation, does the same thing with that e.l.f. Poreless Primer. This is the Yensa BC Foundation BB plus CC plus full coverage foundation plus 8 Super Blacks Essence SPF 40. I don't know what Super Blacks means. I was kind of surprised. So I have never used this before, and look how much wasted packaging there seems to be. So this was also something I got at Creator Day. This is 32 milliliters. This one from Juvia's Place is 30 milliliters. And the Charlotte Tilbury one is 1 fluid ounce. So this is just slightly more than this. It just seemed really weird to me to have such a big package and then you actually are not using or getting anything in this. It like kind of weirded me out a little bit. What I actually think I'm going to do, because I think this one is a little too dark, this is medium warm, I'm going to mix it with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. So I've been trying to use my little mixer palette here because I find when I'm putting it on my hand and mixing it, I'm getting too much of one color and not enough of the other. And I'm also going to just toss some concealer, the Colourpop Super Shock, no filter concealer, on underneath my eyes. So there has been a video that's been going around lately that is basically like, tell me what your makeup tips are, your non-conventional makeup tips. And one of them is to let your concealer sit for a little bit to basically warm up and give your face a better coverage. So I'm going to use 1 pump of the Yensa, and I will also use 1 pump of the Charlotte Tilbury and see where that gets us. I'm in that really weird transition period where my face and my neck are 2 very, very different colors because I've exfoliated most of my tan away. But if you actually like look at my shoulders, they're even darker. So I feel like nobody really knows what's happening. So I'm using a brush I'm not that comfortable with. I'm trying to get more comfortable with it. And these are the Moda brushes. Whew. One of those foundations is very fragrant. Holy, must be the Charlotte Tilbury one. Almost smells like cologne. Yeah, I'm not super comfortable with these brushes. I've always had a harder time with the flat brushes. I feel like I'm like that's not enjoyable for anybody. Do you see the color difference? Like how red I am here versus where the foundation is versus my chest? Like, holy moly. So the Moda brushes also came in the creator bag, and they had like spin and win at the event. I didn't wait long enough for that, but it's too bad. It's out of here. I think I need to add a little something something to my eyes for a little sparkle sparkle. Okay, the difference in person, this is hilarious. It can't be this bad, can it? Maybe I'll just wear like a turtleneck for the rest of my life so that my face looks somewhat normal and regulated. So yeah, I don't know about these brushes. I really don't know. I want to love the brushes because I feel like they give good coverage, but they're so flimsy in here. Like, is it intentional? I'm afraid I'm gonna break it. Okay, so obviously my chest is still way darker than the rest of me because first of all, I'm hot, and second of all, it is just a different color. But I'm gonna make an effort to blend some of this through a little bit better. So what else has been going on? And why else have I not been around? Well, this isn't a reason why I wasn't around, but I was walking the dogs about a month and a half ago, and I just stepped the wrong way on the road. And our roads, I live in a rural area, and our road and the side of the road, one is asphalt and one is concrete. Sorry, not asphalt. One is gravel and one is asphalt. And I stepped on the edge and I just rolled my ankle, and I ended up in a air cast for 2 weeks. It's been almost 2 months now, and I am still having problems with my leg and my foot swelling up and my ankle swelling up. So I've had to go back to physio, and I haven't been able to be as mobile as I would like to be. So I want to use the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish, and I got it in the shade medium, but when you look at me and you look at this, it looks a little bit yellow. So I'm gonna do it anyway because I want to see in my own light, in my own beauty room with my own tools, if what is causing me to go so orange. And if it's this, it's going back. So yeah, I ended up really scratching up one of my legs and kind of just basically destroying the other one completely. I wasn't even able to walk. I have truthfully never felt pain like that in my whole life, and I have had some shit happen to me. But I have a really high pain tolerance, and I swear I went to walk from the couch to the bathroom in my house and it's less than 5 feet away, and I took one step on my foot the night that I did it and I almost threw up on the floor from pain, and I immediately burst into tears. I'm not that girl. I don't do that. It was intense. So I've been using the, what is this called? The Becca Set and Refresh Hydra Mist Powder. This came in BoxyCharm about a month or so ago, and I've actually not been minding it. A lot of people have said they didn't like it. They felt it was really gimmicky. I don't mind it. It's kind of a unique, different type powder, and I can get on board with that. I have canceled my BoxyCharm completely. I feel like every time we make a large purchase, I freak out and cancel all of my subscriptions because I feel like I am suddenly poor and can't afford anything, which obviously is not actually the case. I'm just a panicky weirdo. I was trying to use mostly new products, but I think I'm going to revert back to some of my tried and trues to try and fix up my face a little bit. So I'm going to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Contour Wand. I have talked about this a million times on my channel. It's one of my favorite products, and it's basically like diet in a bottle. And not like, you can take this pill and it will work, but you can literally put this on your face and get skinnier. There are things in this world I don't think are worth it, and there are things in this world that I think are. And this is one of the things that I think is worth it to exist in my personal world. Sometimes I like to go back when I'm editing these and be like, that looks like shit. And why are you the way you are? I'm also going to use the Natasha Denona Bronze and Glow because I picked this up right before I left. And literally just kind of tossed it in my, like, my makeup bag and then forgot I even put it there. And I also think that my monitor makes things look worse than they actually are. And then when I go to edit it and I talk shit the whole time, being like, oh my god, that looks horrible. Oh my god, that looks horrible. Oh my god, that match looks ridiculous. And then it doesn't actually. It looks totally fine. And then the whole video I look and sound like an idiot. So maybe me and my monitor need to have a conversation. So using a little of the Bahama Mama bronzer. That's like my go-to. I had this, had this in my project pan and I repressed it. And I swear since I repressed it, I still use it just as much. But now it looks like I never have ever used it. It's the craziest thing. Okay, so I want to, not that one. I'm gonna add this Passion Liquid Fairy Lights from Pixi. So this is like an eye glitter. It's like a glitter, but it's also like a liquid shadow. That's what it looks like. Like I'm real digging this. And I'm gonna just put it kind of here, and then I'm going to use a different glitter for the rest of my eye. I'm actually like loving on Pixi a lot lately. They have come out with some color cosmetics. Like, I've always liked Pixi in general. Like, they've always been okay. But lately, just the stuff they've been putting out has been really smashing it out of the park, especially for girls who are a little bit extra like myself, and they really like glitter. For example, this is not the first time I've talked about these. These are the Glittery eye quads. I have 3 of them. I have gold, purple, and then a blue one. The blue one I just picked up. And they're just like, I barely touched it, and look at that. Like, how can you not be like, yes, queen? Especially if you are a glitter person. And I think that they're curated so well to all go together in looks that would make sense. And like, I realized that sounded really weird to say, but it made sense in my mind. Here we go. It's just a little extra something. I don't know what has got into me lately, but I've also been actively trying to not necessarily go zero waste, but really try and reduce my footprint on things. So I have started doing the reusable / washable cloth cotton rounds to remove makeup and remove swatches and things like that. So far so good. I am really struggling with my skincare with them, but we'll see what happens going forward, and I will give my full thoughts on them later. So I also, I feel like I went like ham. I picked up all these little Tarte, what are these called? This one is Decked Out Mistletoe. These are the 9 Ways to Shine cheek wardrobes from Tarte. This is kind of interesting because I feel like it's really shimmery. I'd rather use it as a eyeshadow than anything, but I like Tarte blushes a lot. And I'm going to use this guy here. So it's NYE Decked Out in Mistletoe. So who knows which color this is. If you're interested in an actual haul of everything I got, please let me know. I know there's tons of Creator Day blogs and stuff coming out right now, so I don't want to not necessarily like overdo it, but if you've seen it, you've seen it, and I don't want to waste my time, nor do I want to waste your time going through everything. However, I did buy a ton of stuff recently and have been gifted a few things and sent a few things, so if you're interested, I'm happy to do one of them big hauls. Something I did purchase and I'm kind of on the fence about is the new Fenty Beauty How Many Carats highlight. So it looks beautiful. It really, really does. Like, this is one of those products I want to love. Like, I do want to love it, and I'm hoping it's just an overlay, but the first time I used it, it just felt like glitter. See, it's not as bad now, but the first time I used it, it was literally just like chunks of glitter, and I had glitter everywhere. And I don't like that. So I'm going to try it again today and see where we get. If you can't tell, I've also been a little bit into blush lately, and I've been following, again, those little random makeup tips. How do we feel about this? Please put your thoughts in the comments on how we feel about this highlight. I've been following those little makeup tips about like putting blush on your nose and just doing a little bit more blush than you normally would. I did go a little overboard, so I'm gonna just get that out of there a little bit. So tell me what has been going on with you. Lots of people I have thought of consistently while I've been away and trying to consider what I was going to do to come back. And truthfully, I actually considered shutting down the channel completely. I would really like... I don't even know how to explain it. I don't like how the beauty community goes sometimes. Like, it really, really bothers me. People are not here for the makeup. They are clout chasing and like chasing. And even when I am in the groups with people I really like on like Facebook and Instagram has basically gotten rid of organic reach and organic engagement. I can't find no damn thing. I find it really challenging to find it enjoyable when all you ever see is people complaining about what they do or don't have and why this person gets PR and this person doesn't, or what has been going on with like Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson and all this stuff. I'm not, for lack of a better explanation, I'm too old for this. I really love makeup. I really like the act of filming. I really like the act of talking to you guys. I love putting up posts. I love chatting with you on stories. I love meeting other YouTubers. Like, I hung out with Samantha March and Angelica Knifefist a little bit while I was there. I met Kelly Gooch, hung out with her as well, and a few other really great people. Karen Harris does makeup. If you're here and don't know her, please go subscribe to her channel. She is actively trying to reach her next milestone, and she's not that far off, so I will link her channel down below as well, and all these other lovely humans, which I'm sure you already know them if you know me. I'm actually in Samantha March's vlog telling everybody that the tequila wall is self-serve, because that's who I am as a person. But yeah, I did really consider shutting down the channel, and I was hoping that going back to New York and back to the creator event would really help with that and reignite my passion for wanting to fight my way through what can sometimes be not the best environment. I really like to watch Lauren Mae Beauty and Emily Noel. Smoky Glow I actually watch a lot as well, and like the girls I just mentioned, but they're not problematic. And even if, I will use Smoky Glow for example, even if I don't agree with everything that Smoky Glow says, I feel educated when I listen to her, even if ultimately I come out and I don't necessarily agree with her standpoint on things. And when Liv Loves Her Makeup was here, I felt the same way about her. She was not my favorite person in the world, and I didn't always agree with how she handled things or what she said. I always felt educated after I listened to what she had to say, and I feel like every day we lose more and more of those people to not wanting to deal with the bullshit of this community and the YouTube community in general. Whoa, shit got deep there for a second. Sorry, my lighting seems to be all over the place. I'm really not sure why. Sorry. So Esquido was very lovely, and they reached out to me asking if they could send me their liners, and I have been using them and trying them out. These are the gel eyeliner pencils. They have a little, I guess I could like show it to you so you know what the hell I'm talking about. They have a little sharpener in the end, which I find very helpful and really great actually. And I have been using the black one a ton. I haven't really been using the brown one too much. I don't wear pencil eyeliner that much, and when I do wear pencil eyeliner, it is typically black, white, or multicolored. I rarely use brown, but you know what, maybe today we will, because my eyeshadows are brown. My main complaint I have about these eyeliners is they come in a box and they come also wrapped in plastic. I did send their PR team a question asking if there was any particular reason why they did that. I'm sure it's something to do with being sanitary, but then just like drop the box in my opinion. I'm trying to be more aware of what is and isn't wasteful. I know a lot of people are doing the same, and I don't think it's a matter of doing everything perfectly right. It's a matter of everybody doing something right. I think I've probably touched on this before on the channel. I don't want to say I'm not that hardcore about things, but like, I'm not that hardcore about things. I think everybody making an effort is good and is good enough, especially for now, because no matter what, any improvement is better. So this is the tip as it comes out in the brown shade. So I'm going to put that on my waterline. See, there's a reason I don't really put this stuff on my waterline, so I'm going to put it below. All right, I definitely prefer the black. See how annoyed she makes me when she barks like this? Look how red my ear gets. Stop barking. You're barking at nothing. Overall, I think I would buy the black one again, but probably not the brown one, just solely because I don't really wear brown eyeliner that much. And I would love to get the rest of the information on the recycling of how these are dealt with. I didn't really talk about what I used on my eyebrows, but it was just a Colourpop pencil. I'm going to use the Huda Beauty Lip Strobe in the shade Foxy, just to kind of, you know, be even more extra than I already am. It's kind of an interesting shade. I always find this really funny. My one Cupid's bow is much sharper than the other, so I always have to like draw up the other one, but then I always end up with this like winged eyeliner version of hell on my lips. Slightly better. Oh well, close enough. This is an interesting product. It's kind of weird. I don't truly know how I feel about it. It in the tube looks very brown, but on my mouth looks much different. But it makes my teeth look great, so I don't mind that. Okay, I'm gonna throw on some mascara, and then I think we're gonna finish this up, and I'm gonna go run out to Walmart. I'm probably gonna put pants on first. Probably advisable. What do you think? So just while I have the really dedicated people still here, I have been on a journey of somewhat controversial topic, which is getting my tubes tied. So I have been trying to get my tubes tied for some time now, and in the interest of doing new content and being transparent with my viewers and basically just my experiences as a woman in modern day, well, all this stuff about abortion and pro-choice versus pro-life and like women in careers, etc. are going on, I was wondering if people would be interested in that story and my experiences with that. I haven't decided if I'm comfortable doing it or not, but it is something I am currently going through and trying to do. So I didn't know if anybody else was going through something similar or if anybody else would be interested in that topic. So please let me know what you think. It is a very much no pressure situation and I'm happy to hear your opinions. I am not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, and I know it's a very sensitive topic, so I don't really want to put that out there and trigger anybody, but I do think it's a topic that should be discussed and isn't very often, so I'd be interested to hear what you have to say. Thank you so much for listening to this live update of everything that's going on with me. I hope you like my little gargoyle man in the back and my very scary spooky decorations. It is coming to that Halloween time. My husband is very into Halloween, so my house is slowly being taken over by Halloween decorations. All right, this is the final look. I'm going to spray some spray on it before I go. Spray some spray on it. Okay, Candace, pull your shit together. I'm going to spray some setting spray on it. I'm actually going to use this vitamin D chill mist from from Sweet Chef. It's the Ginger Kombucha Vitamin D Chill Mist. Hydrates, soothes, and cools, because I am real hot right now. And then I'm going to spray it with some setting spray. So I'm not in love with this sprayer, that's for sure. I still think the best sprayer on the market is between the Morphe setting spray and the Glow Recipe Glow Mist. They're just flawless, you know? Just flawless. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please let me know what you think of that sensitive subject, if you would be interested in that story or that video, or if you would rather just do like a Q&A or anything like that. I've been watching YouTube the whole time but not producing content, so please let me know what you're interested in seeing throughout the next few months, and I am going to actively be more on YouTube. And I do feel re-energized after going to Creator Day. Diesel's outside barking in the backyard, sorry about that. Yeah, and I'm still obviously getting used to how my new hair functions and falls. Okay guys, have a great day. I'll see you next time.